Hello everyone, I am the Bedrock Creeper, your host, and welcome to this Feed the Beast video tutorial about disk drives. So this is a disk drive. It has one inventory space. You can actually fit anything into here, but as you notice it will have a little red light if it doesn't detect something that it can actually use. You can place two different things in a floppy drive. First is a floppy disk, which you can then write programs and save programs to it. Green light. Or you can put a music disk into it, and using the DJ command on a computer you can play it. It's much less expensive than a jukebox. So here's the crafting recipe of the disk drive. We have 7 smooth stone and 2 redstone in this configuration. A disk drive is added by ComputerCraft, as said by the sign. Now, the disk drive, in order for either a turtle or a computer to access it, it has to be directly adjacent to the computer that will be accessing it. Here is the crafting recipe for a floppy disk. Some redstone and paper. Fairly simple. Now, in the newer versions of ComputerCraft, you can color floppy disks. You can use all the different colorings of wool. It's basically the same principle. Put a coloring in next to a floppy disk in a crafting table and get a colored floppy disk out. Now, Tekkit does not have colored disks because it doesn't have the updated version of ComputerCraft. Alright, so here we are with 2 computer setups. Here is computer 1, here is computer 2. They both have disk drives hooked into them. So I have this floppy disk here, and I'm going to put it in the floppy drive. Now, computers are basically like the command prompt in Windows, so if you're used to that, you can probably get around fairly easy in ComputerCraft. But computers have a directory structure, and so if you type dir, that stands for directory, that will give you a listing of the current directories under the directory you're currently in. If I were to go and remove the floppy disk and type dir again, you can see I only have ROM, which is read-only memory, and not disk anymore because it's been removed. If I put it back in, it shows up again. Okay, so how you store programs on a floppy disk is by putting it in the disk folder, basically. So if you type cd and then disk, that will change the directory. CD stands for change directory. So it will change it to the disk directory, and if I type dir in here, you can see it's empty. And if I want to create a program in here, all I have to do is type edit, and then the name of the program I want to create. If the program already exists and you type edit, then it will edit that program. So I'm going to type hello, and that will be the name of my program. And I'll just write some quick code here. Let's go ahead and save it by pressing Control and exit. Now if I type dir, I will get the name of my program. And if I type hello, then it will run the code within that program. Now I'm going to restart the computer here, and that will take me back to the the root directory, and if I type dir, I still get disk. If I try and type hello, oh, there's already a program named that. Okay, so now that's not the program I just wrote. So in order to access the program I just wrote, I can either change the directory to the disk, or this will take me up one level, back to the root directory. Oh dear, it's raining. Alright, so that's one way of getting to the programs in your disk, is by typing cd and changing the directory to disk. Or you can go directly to that. So if I type disk/hello, then that will also access that program directly. So there's two ways of doing it. The one I did above, or you can do cd disk and then type hello. So it's just a directory structure. Now if I were to come over to this computer, of course it wouldn't have that program, nor does it have the disk in it. So if I type disk/hello, no such program. However, if I take the disk out of here and then put the disk into here and type what I did above, I am now able to access the program that this computer stored on the floppy drive. If I take it out again, I can no longer access that. So you can see that the programs are stored on the floppy disk. Now, okay, I'm going to restart the computer again, and I'm going to edit the program named test, and let's see. Now what if I have a program that is on the local computer, but I want to put it on the floppy drive? Well, I can use the copy command. I believe there's also a cut command, but I'm just guessing here. I haven't actually used it. So if I go copy, first I'm going to First I'm going to switch to the directory, the disk directory, just to see what programs I have in there. Now if I go back to the root, I can type copy and then the name of the program I want to copy, which is test, and then I want to put it in the directory disk, and I can also rename it here, I think. I'm just guessing again. Test. So if you run this command, it will copy it over. So you can see it still has test in the directory here, but if I go to the disk directory, test now shows up, and I can then take this floppy disk and put it into computer number 2 and type disk test. I have been tested. Alright, so the copy was successful, and you can also copy the other way as well. So no test program here. So if I type copy disk/test space test, I'm going to call it test2 just to see if it will rename it. and looks like no errors occurred. So if I type dir, you can see it copied disk/test to the folder of the root directory as test2. So if you just have a mastered copy of your floppy disk, you can then copy programs from the disk to computers. That makes it so all you have to do is write the program on the disk and then copy it to your computer. Okay, over here I have a little racetrack for the turtle to traverse, and I'll fetch this disk and put it in the drive. And now, as I said earlier, the floppy disk and the computer that's using it have to be next to each other. So I'm gonna write a program called Go that will move him forward. So has to get fuel first, so refuel. Not good at talking while programming, so and then I'm going to write a loop for I equals 1, comma, and I'm going to have him move forward 5 times. Do turtle. Now these are turtle APIs, so you can look up all the turtle API commands in the ComputerCraft Wiki. I will provide a link in the description for you to look at. So forward end, and that should be alright. I'll go ahead and save that. Exit, dir, go, and off he goes. Oh, he didn't make it to the finish line. That was intended, of course. So if I type go again, hang on, what? Oh, I forgot to write it in the on the floppy disk. So get myself a pick here. There we are. Alright, so no Go program there. Now if I type edit disk/go, that will put it on the disk this time. So alright, so here I am back with the program. I don't need to refuel it this time because it has a whole stack of coal. Now dir of disk. I wonder if I can do that. Yep, I can. Okay, so I have Go on the disk, so if I type disk/go, it's going to go forward here and stop. If I try to type disk/go again, there's no such program because the floppy disk is no longer next to it, so I will have to move the disk drive and floppy back next to the turtle in order for it to be able to read that program again. And off it goes. Woohoo, it made it. Alrighty, so that concludes this tutorial. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. Until next time.